Sherlock to Star Trek to Smog. On Sunday, he is nominated for Best Actor with Best Name at the Academy Awards for his performance in The Imitation Game. It's in theaters now. Please welcome newlywed Benedict Cumberbatch. Thanks for coming. I'm so impressed because, you know, people cancel on us for bad reasons sometimes. Yeah. It's like, oh, I was out too late the night before. Yeah. But you got married in England on Saturday, and here you are.
I felt bad about you not coming, so I thought I'd bring you in on the honeymoon.
You know, even my wife didn't want to spend our honeymoon with me, so...
It's kind of crazy.
It is very nice for you to, but I have to say I feel guilty. I mean, I appreciate you honoring your commitment. And I thought maybe I could make it like a little bit more like a vacation for you while you're here.
Go on.
First of all, let's switch the background if we could. Maybe we can have some music there. And then I got us a couple of pina coladas. So, you don't have to drink it, but cheers to you. Congratulations.
Here's to our honeymoon.
And then later we'll make love. I have to say, that is the worst pina colada I've ever had.
It's absolutely no alcohol in that whatsoever.
Oh, I got you some gifts also. All you had left on your registry...
Oh, wow, brilliant.
...was...
kitchen utensils.
Yeah, some whisk sets, a loaf pan, pepper grinder, oven mitt, and...
Where are the steak knives? Where are the steak
no steak knives. Somebody, I think your aunt bought those. This is an avocado slicer, though. So that will come in... Well, don't worry. We'll send this back to your house. You don't have to carry this with you.
No, get the avocado slicer through customs. That's for sure.
Congratulations on all of that stuff. You had the wedding, you got baby... Yeah. A little cummerbun in the oven. You've got
one in the oven, one on the way.
Boy, you must be thinking about naming a baby with. Will the baby take your last name?
Poor child. I think it will have to. That's kind of the tradition. But yeah,
I guess so.
Have you got ideas for the first name?
I think you should go with, and I was thinking about this today. Whatever the first name, as long as it starts with a Q. Then you could be, the kid could be Q Cumberbatch. Q Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. No?
No, it's so, no. It's too soon. It's just too soon.
Where were you when you found out you got nominated for an Academy Award?
I was driving to work. I've just finished filming the Christmas special of Sherlock, which is coming out this Christmas. And
wow.
You haven't seen it yet. Why are you clapping?
No, they're excited.
America. I know.
You know, because a lot of times when people become big movie stars, they abandon their television shows, and you haven't, and I think that's a nice thing to do.
It gets increasingly difficult to do, but we absolutely love it, and I think we've got an absolute stormer in the can, so it's well worth coming back to every time the game is up by the writing and everything we're asked to do, so as long as that keeps happening, as long as it's fresh and innovative and challenging for us, we'll come back. It's such good material to play.
A stormer, I never heard of that before.
Stormer, I think I meant stonker. I literally have just got off a plane. So
stormer is a great word. If you made that up, I think we run with that. Yeah.
Stormer.
By the way, let's get rid of the Hawaii background because it's distracting me now. Let me put these over here also. So you were, I'm sorry, I asked where you were when you found out.
Yeah, we were filming that, and I was just ringing my best friend in London, Adam, and checking in about something else entirely. He went, oh my God, what the hell are you ringing me now for? It's 3 minutes until the announcement. I said, announcement of what? He went, the Oscars, you prick. Right. Oh, Christ. Okay, all right. Right. And I just stayed on the line with him, and he was listening to it live on the computer. And there was a very slight delay, so my agent got in just before my parents did, and they'd heard it as well. And it was just, that was the most amazing feeling in the world.
Did you call your parents?
I don't think it's going to get better than that. I don't think it ever will anyway, as far as that moment goes, And no, they called me. They got in faster.
Oh, I see.
And, to talk to them as, two actors and their only child being nominated for an Oscar, that was a wonderful moment.
I would imagine so, yeah.
It was incredible, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think is there any envy on their part whatsoever that
Complete utter envy, yeah. Basically, we're so proud of you. You absolutely hate your guts. No, of course not. No, the wonderful thing about them is it's a difficult profession, even when there is a generational divide and your blood is involved. It is such a weird headspace.
I would think as a parent, you could feel responsible too if you've kind of,
huge amount, and that's where there is nothing but positive energy with them. They've given me so much unconditional love in my life, and that was just another note of it. And it was beautiful, beautiful thing for us to share. They're bursting with pride and happiness. So.
I always wonder when people who come from other countries if the Academy Awards mean as much to them as they do to American actors, and in your case, it seems like. Absolutely, and maybe even more because it's your parents are actors and it's like your family business.
We get it. We get where the Oscars are. I mean, it's it's kind of a global thing that I think. I mean, it's got such a huge audience on the television, let alone what it means within different communities of acting around the world. I guess it's. I'm one of how many? I've forgotten how few it is. I think it's about five of us. I mean, it's incredible to be.
Yeah, there are 4 beside you.
Yeah, and those, that's it. That's 5, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you did all the math in that movie. What do I know?
Now you know how I got the part. Now you know how I got the part.
When you go to a show like this. Are you still excited? Have you met everybody?
Did you see me last year? I mean, I couldn't contain myself. I was jumping up behind rock groups and high-fiving with people I'd...
You were the Taylor Swift of that show, yes.
What's that?
Yes.
Is she doing that now?
She shows enthusiasm, which I think is nice. A lot of people sit there like, oh, when is my category coming up?
Well, I have to say, no, I was prepared for a lot of that. I was prepared to smile and grin and bear what is, and it sounds so spoiled, but grin and bear what is basically 3 hours of hell that a lot of people have described as one of the longest nights. And the irony is, everyone around you, it's full of the richest talent in the world, literally, but also just their ability as well. Yeah, there you go. That's what jet lag does. Out comes the truth. But also an ability. And, it can be really boring because people get clamped up with fear. But I thought Ellen did just a brilliant job of opening it up. And, we were all on our feet dancing to Happy after the first 5 minutes. And there was a lot of vodka being passed around on the red carpet, which I think is one of the reasons I did the photo bomb I did. I'll blame it on the vodka. But it was very enjoyable. But I was only a small part of a very beautiful, very important winning film. So I was there for the best possible reason. And I was presenting. I was fortunate to be presenting, which was amazing.
Well, sure, yeah. Well, you're going to have to show that kind of enthusiasm for Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, yeah, for him.
Yes.
Very excited.
The hosts appreciate it.
He's very, very talented. I've seen him doing the Tonys, and he really knows his onions.
We're going to take a break now, if you don't mind, to extend your honeymoon here. And Benedict Cumberbatch is here with us. He's nominated for an Oscar.
Portions of Jimmy Kimmel Live are brought to you by smooth and crunchy Butterfinger peanut butter cups. It's a different kind of peanut butter cup.
That is Benedict Cumberbatch and The Imitation Game. It is in theaters now. It's nominated for an Academy Award. What a great movie that is. True story.
True story.
The character you play, the person you play, Alan Turing, is a man whose name I didn't know. I know a lot of people didn't know before
he's known amongst the intelligence community, amongst the sort of gods of the computer world in Silicon Valley. He's known amongst LGBT groups. He has been an icon for many people, a very important person for many people for a while. But what we've hoped to have done with this movie is to basically broaden an audience and an understanding of this extraordinary man who, at a very young age invented computer science and the idea of computing from the earlier ideas that he developed. But, during the war, he put those in practice with the code breakers at Bletchley Park and helped to crack the Enigma code, which brought about, some say, a 2-year early cessation to the Second World War and saving millions of lives. So it became a war hero. And then afterwards, in the 50s, was persecuted once he was found to be a homosexual. He was prosecuted and given the choice between 2 years imprisonment or 2 years chemical castration. This man was utterly wronged by the very government and democracy and lives that he had helped save in secret. His work was in secret, his private life was in secret, the whole of his personality was locked down, and he was already an incredibly fragile, humble, and particular single-minded man. He had a terrible stammer from a very early age. So, this barbaric world that he was in, that he helped, that he gave so much to. I mean, you ask anybody in Silicon Valley, whether it's Bill Gates down, and they will say they still use Turing's mathematics, they still use his programming, they still use his idea of computing. There are algorithms that we use to crack that code that if you feed embarrassing my name into Google will link me with him or vice versa now. It's the same algorithms that we use to break down combinations of what this unbreakable code could be. And, you know, so our mission, everybody reading the script, which is, you know, it's very funny. At the first pages, you're drawn into this uncompromising character who just takes you with him. And then slowly you get to learn how he is and why he is the way he is. And then this tragedy unfolds, and it just, your emotions move from amusement to engagement with this thriller of how we crack him and the code, how we understand this man and get to this point of near victory in the war. And then this tragedy evolves, and it takes your breath away, and you become very angered. And
this is unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, you signed a petition, and you've been helping to spearhead a petition that would pardon men who were, and women, I assume, but probably mostly men, who were imprisoned.
Over 40,000 other who were imprisoned or died because of this, whose lives were utterly altered, affected, changed, ruined, and thousands, hundreds of thousands others around them, whether they're families or relatives or lovers. And you know, Alan was pardoned by the Queen and the government, but only in the last few years. And while it had to happen as a sort of official nod to what needed to be done, it's way too little, too late, obviously. And what we hope to gain a momentum with is to use his story to highlight that this was not just an isolated incident. This was a blanket policy for anybody who was marked to be homosexual in that era. 2 years imprisonment or 2 years chemical castration with estrogen injections administered weekly. I mean, it's barbaric. And that was the 50s. That was less than 100 years ago.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
To a war hero, no less.
Yeah.
Well, it's very good to see you. I wish you the best with your baby and with your wedding and, of course, on Oscar Sunday. That's Benedict Cumberbatch. Go see The Invitation Game. It's in theaters now. The Oscars, Oscar Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific here on ABC. We'll be right back.
The Jimmy Kimmel Live Concert Series is presented by